What's up, guys? Are you in the background? Arthur, that's good. That's good. So you can see it. Sorry, guys. I set up this live earlier, but I wanted to, get it all like set up like prior and see if it works good. And as I can see now that you guys are seeing it. Um, the only thing is I still can't see my. I can see here some of my chats, but I can't move it out of this widget. Let me try something. What's up with you, all of you guys tonight? or almost morning. Okay. Uh, all right. I'm gonna read the comments right now. I'm just testing many things so we could talk about them. Got a lot of fun things to talk about. Crypto dumped. Told you. Well, not much, but we're gonna see much, much, much worse later. I think tonight, late at night. Um, how about the almost 14% on AMC today? That was lovely, right? I know you guys loved it. 1 second. Nice. So we're in space. What's up, future whale? In your base, what it do? Peter. Um, Arthur. Um, no, it's changed now to the incubator. But soon, yes, like I'm gonna have. In fact, Arthur, let's do this. Arthur, I'm gonna have you in as a guest. How you feel about that? Let's see. Oh, also Mikey, nice. Oh, look at that. It's amazing person. Mikey's is wonderful. Arthur saying no. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Uh, so I'm getting that whole hang of all of this, and I'm glad that you guys are. I'm kind of like walking through it with all of you guys, and that's the beauty of it. Oh, well, one, you're not ugly. That's first of all, Arthur. And it's not going to be a face join. It's going to be more like, you be on Discord in the background, you know? We as men don't have to look pretty. We just have to be. Peter, I love it. No, but no one is ugly, man. However, again, it's gonna be just like people. Everybody will hear your voice. It won't be that. So there you go. How's it going tonight, Arthur? Mr. Martin.
I'm doing fine, sir. How are you?
Great. Can you guys hear Arthur Martin? That. So there you go. How's it going tonight, Arthur? Mr. Martin.
I'm doing fine, sir. How are you?
Ah, look at you. Pixel clear, Mr. Martin.
Yeah, it seems like there's a huge delay.
Yeah, that happens. Okay. Well, because basically we're watching ourselves in that case. Willpower, cannabis vote in August. Yep, touche to that. Tilray, Sundial, Hexo, whatever, whichever one, even though Hexo was recently acquired by, or at least as far as I heard, that's also acquired by Tilray in the possibility of getting acquired, besides Faria, that was in 2021 purchased by um, Tilray. So, yes, looking forward to that for sure. Let me see this. I almost forgot to change the background. I know you guys are like looking like, I don't want to see your Discord look. People want to see this, something like this. So, good evening, everybody. This is going to be very quick. I just wanted to go ahead and test out most of these, but in the same time, I want to put out my thoughts, at least for today, of what have happened. And I'm going to ask, my friend Arthur here, his take on what they see or what they saw today on the market. So with that being said, today we've seen AMC move up 13.5% almost. But here's the thing: it was on a red market where everything was going red. AMC did not go along or follow along in the same movement of the index funds that it's supposed to be following or tracking. Uh, so ultimately, uh, seeing that, okay, I saw that, Arthur. Um, and ultimately, we've seen what I've seen today was a very timed run up and like consolidation, like the way that it was consolidated above and kind of kept moving slowly and slowly upwards. That, for me, it shows me or tells me that the market makers have their hands all over it because they don't want volatility to be there. As you could remember, it didn't move up like 13% in 1 minute or in 10 seconds, right? It moved throughout the whole day, all the way up to at some point it was like at 18%, 19%, but it leveled out there. And what that tells me, again, market makers trying to make sure that they don't get burned on the options chain, and get completely obliterated. So it's slow, uh, and moving slowly. Yes, Pabloco, what's up, brother? Yes, we are in orbit for sure. We're looking at this is where we're going. We're going to the moon, and we're going to look back down to Earth after squeeze, or during the squeeze. And when we come back, it's going to be something completely different. And plus, I'm testing out this the new system and setup of how things work. Now, besides AMC and that run up, you guys remember on what I consider bullish movement? Of course, green is always good, but to expect like when a squeeze or what's some signs of squeeze for me on a technical level, I have to see 230% plus sessions back to back or one day in between or one major bullish one with perhaps 60-80% or up in one day, even with all the suspensions that and the halts that we're going to get. But then that would automatically put us in a price bracket that for the market maker it's not going to be easy to bring it back down by that Friday. So for example, right now I see this like this. What this tells me until now, I'm not saying that it has to be this, but I'm saying until now is telling me or showing me that the market maker is basically trying to entice people to jump into the options chain and get options. But the way that it's moving, as you can see, the volatility is not there. It is going to be super simple throughout the week. In fact, in one session, to lose 13% like it gained it. But you're not going to see a gain of, at least I've never seen something like that. A gain of 30 plus or 60, 80%. And by the end of that week, they're able to bring it right back underneath that 60 to 80%. It's that's just, you don't see that much. Um, so that is something that I'm looking forward to now. On the other side, or in the other hand, the last time in June when we kicked off from AMC, we went up and we were always dancing in that region between $8 to $12, $8 to $12 for months, so many months. And then the magic happened, and we went off, and we got into the $14 level, came back down slightly into the tapped into the upper 12s, and that's when like it was like around 1250, 1270, and that's when we skied after that, and the rest was history. You got everybody remembers what that was. uh Arthur, were you around back then?
Of like the Battle of 801.
Yep.
No, I wasn't involved in when we were at 801.
Okay, what about June? Were you around when June?
Yeah, the run up in June to 77.
Yep. Okay, cool, cool. Now, as far as that's what I've seen as far as for AMC today. We continue to get some good news. Elvis is doing really good. In fact, the last article I saw said that it overtook Top Gun sales for the week from now on. It didn't sell over 1 billion yet. Not saying that it won't. I hope so. I'm actually crossing my fingers for that. I know you are, and uh, Arthur, I know you are anticipating that to see us sell AMC movie Elvis more than 1 billion in sales. That would be another
Oh,
awesome.
definitely, sir. Definitely. I went to the movies today. I didn't see Elvis. I saw Black Phone. It was pretty good, suspenseful movie. Few jump scares. It was nice. Uh, I saw Pam the Trader's review for Elvis. I think I'm gonna go tomorrow.
Beautiful. And what do you advise people, Arthur, as far as like not financial advice, but as far as like in movies and the some of the movies you've seen. I know Pam is a great reviewer, and everybody should check out Pam's channel in here if you're not already subscribed there, and see her reviews. It actually is really good. It saves you a lot of time. But besides all that, what do you have as recommendations for us when we go to the movies to get? Have you tried the Impossible Nuggets?
No, I haven't tried any of the food. I just always get popcorn. I started getting the annual bucket. I keep getting the bucket. It's like a refillable bucket. You pay 24.99, and then every time you go back, you can get a 4.99 refill. But I just keep buying the buckets, and today they were out of the buckets, so that. To me, that's bullish. That shows that a lot of people are coming, a lot of people are spending money, and they're planning on coming back because they want to get those good deals on the refills. So they're getting that bucket. So I'm bullish on the fundamentals of people are going to the theater. I just think if we want a good earnings report, we need to not only just buy and hold, we need to get there and we need to go there and spend money, and that's what I've been trying to do.
Love it. Love it. You hear that, apes? This is what it takes. I mean, it makes a lot of sense for you to invest in something, but also, participate in it or partake in it. It kind of almost makes no sense for somebody to invest in something and go and automatically purchase or invest or buy products of a competitor or somebody else. So, you're putting your money where your I don't want to say where your only mouth is, but where your investments are as well. So I love that. I love
Exactly.
that.
I'm not going to invest in Reebok and then go buy Nikes. I'm going to buy Reebok if that's what I'm invested in. Um, I just think we really need to put the squeeze on them and help out with that earnings report. We got one more week. This is the power hour for Q2. Let's get out there and go to the movies, guys. Get some popcorn.
Yeah,
Yes.
man.
Who's all with us right here in the court in the incubator? That's what we call it, the incubator.
Got Jeffrey in
Hey,
here.
hey,
Jeffrey,
what's going on, AB?
how are you doing? How are you doing, brother? How are you doing, brother?
Good, good.
Did you like AMC's run up today?
Yeah, it was actually pretty good. It was a lot, it was a lot more surprising, I guess. I wasn't really expecting it to run up that much. I was expecting a little jump, but not a full 17% like it ran.
Did you like how well, I didn't like this part, but how the whole move was with zero, basically without too much volatility, so that basically the options chain don't get blown up, right? But in the same time, it
Yeah,
was a move, it was good enough to entice people to jump in. You know what I'm saying?
it was, it was, pretty much textbook. I mean, it would run up and then it would have a little bit of cool off retracement and just keep on its way. And the surprising, I guess, the good surprising part of it was the fact that Spy was not running up like you know what I mean. It wasn't because Spy was running like crazy. You know,
Yes.
it was more bullish than Spy today, which I thought was
Yes.
good.
No, that was perfect. I actually did say the same thing, or echoed similar stance earlier in the beginning of the chat before you joined in. Um, and I'm reading here in the chat, as in, uh, you got Forks. How are you doing, my friend? Nice to see you in here. Leo the Lion. This is the best team to ever do it and on the gridiron. And yeah, I don't want to hear it from you, and I don't want to hear it from Jeff. I know he's gonna say his part, but we'll get to that in a second. Um, and then we got willpower. I think AMC needs to buy me a bucket of popcorn. Why you feel that way, my friend? Oh my god. I think AMC is just fine, guys. I think that it's great. We need to support it, and we need to do whatever we got to do. Now, at the end of the day, as far as stock itself, like purchasing the stock or whatever, nobody's ever going to advise anybody anything. We're just going to speak on our perspective on things. And I like this, trying this for the first time. So that's why you might guys see it that it's kind of like everywhere almost. But hey, this is the first time. This is a baby step where I have some of my cool and close people to me actually speak in here, and I want to invite more people as time progresses, and get more point of views depending on what we're covering that day, or if I am doing some guest work on that day. Now, for me personally, also on top of that, guys, I've seen rather than just the fact that AMC was running and the majority of the other memes were not, some of the key things to look at. We got Prague tomorrow doing earnings. We also got BBBY, Bed Bath and Beyond, doing theirs on Wednesday. Is it Wednesday or Thursday? I think it's Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Perfect. Yes. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. Now, I'm not being very, very bullish from the basis that most of you might think of. Without jumping too much in fundamentals as far as like what BBBY, their bad earnings, or they're heavily shorted, who's on their board. I understand RC's there, Orion Cohen, and all that stuff. But those are two. The reason why I'm bullish about these two stocks right now, or these two incidents, is because those two are also happen to be meme stocks, and they're heavily shorted as well. So I'm interested in seeing what happens tomorrow with Prague, and then what happens with BBBY. My hunch feeling is telling me that they're gonna battle the hell out of it. I mean, we've seen with Bed Bath and Beyond, they already had a rating agency downgraded. So basically, people are going bearish on it, and rightfully so. Bed Bath and Beyond is not doing too good financially, anyways. That's just realistically speaking. Now, that doesn't take away the fact that they have a very short, small float. That doesn't take away the fact that they're also doing a stock buyback that's supposed to conclude by the end of this year for a disclosed amount. I think last time I looked at it, it was somewhere around 100 or 150 million, but that was a while ago when they first put it into effect. That's going to be pretty interesting because stocks with floats that are that little or that small could have crazy, crazy over leveraged advantage, and can be squeezed the living hell out of shorts. You know, now I'm obviously treading with caution because I already seen them downgraded by different rating agencies, and that's going to be rough on their, you know, on their earnings on the report on Wednesday. Now for Prague, what I'm interested in seeing is their community still intact? Because the difference I feel like that differentiates AMC investors and GME investors also in that same boat is the movement. And you could say BBIG to a certain extent. There's rock solid die-hard fans or investors. We're not freaking selling until the number that we're looking for is present, or we're somewhere near it, right? These other meme stocks, there's not enough conviction. Their own communities jumped in the hopes of a quick squeeze, but then next thing you know, that didn't happen. So I'm interested in seeing, like, over all this time, are they still there on that wagon? Are they die hard, or to a big extent too, not just small, but in a big way, that are die hard Prague investors still? I think we're going to see a lot of that kind of stuff, or at least the noise of it, after Tuesday or after tomorrow. It's going to be interesting to see also what that might have to do with even the crypto beginning to dump again. I think we're looking at around somewhere around 2 o'clock, 2:30, 3:30, something like that, to possibly see another leg down. Um, it's right around that support level right now. And if it breaks this threshold, um, look out, 18 and 17. We're looking for that again, and perhaps even a deeper one down the line. What do you think, Jeffrey? Give me your intake on Mr. King. Actually, I'll refer to you as Mr. King, King Jeffrey. What is your intake on those situations that are happening tomorrow and then Wednesday?
Um, well, I think actually it started today, in my opinion, because Nike had their earnings today, and I don't know how that turned out. I haven't had a chance to look at that. So I don't know if anybody else has that could speak on that, but that's going to be probably for this earnings season, like I think it's going to set the tone because obviously they're a major distributor, um, and with the supply chain issues and things like that, how it's going to affect profits and earnings. I think will either put fear into the market or boost the market into maybe a bear or whatever they call it, a bull run in a bear market. So I mean that's kind of how I'm looking at it. I think that's gonna probably set the tone for this earnings season. Is Nike.
All right. That's interesting. I didn't look at Nike today, honestly. But
I
now
didn't
I'm
either.
eager. Yeah, now I'm eager, and actually going to look for it. Um, Willpower. I invested 100K in AMC. Good for you, brother. Welcome to the club.
Right?
But in that case, then you shouldn't be requesting a popcorn bucket from AMC. You're gonna be the great investor, not the person that goes in. It's like, hey, I'm invested in you. Therefore, you need to give me a lot of freebies and whatnot. They already have a really good stub uh, program. So yeah, enjoy it, Willpower. I'm having fun with Will. Nike didn't do well. Oh, thanks for that input, Pablo. Okay, well, that's kind of wow. I don't know. What you guys think now? This is a question to everybody, and especially for the viewers in the comments. Do you think because of that you're gonna start seeing athletes get lesser lesser sponsor deals? Like they're gonna take away the lifetime deal from LeBron James and say, no more $1 billion for life. We're gonna take that down to 300 million. We can't afford it. Put that in the comments, guys. What do you think? um, let's see. What else did I wanna go over real quick? Do you guys, Jeffrey? What do you think of the where we at? Do you like the satellite that we're on right now, the space station that we're on,
The space station.
the space station.
Oh, hold on. You're cutting out. What was that again?
The
Looks
space
pretty sexy,
station.
AB.
Look at that.
Oh,
Mr. Pantheon is in here.
Yeah, I crashed the party. Your satellite image looks fantastic.
Well, it's not mine. I don't want to take it, the credit for it, but I think it was cool in the background where, while people are
oh yeah.
while we're chit chatting. It's cool to look at the Mother Earth from above, you know?
Right. From our moon rocket.
Yes, yes, yes. Mother of all
Yeah.
liquidity crisis. I love it, Peter. So Pantheon, tell me, my friend. I've asked Jeff on his opinion, if you don't mind, what his what took him by, like, how did he view AMC's run up today, and what does it mean to him, at least from his personal view. I was eager to also ask you the same thing if you don't mind sharing with us.
Sure. No, the big reason I popped in is because I keep dropping your name on my Pantheon radio, and nobody believes that I know you. So I have to prove that I do know you.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. It's real. It's not fake. I
AB's a
appreciate you,
stud.
my
That's
friend.
what I have to say. Jeffrey Arthur, how you guys doing tonight?
Good, good, good.
Sir, how are you?
I
Oh,
was
I'm
lucky.
doing fine.
I was lucky to still. You guys are still going. I had a church, and then I jumped out, and I saw you guys are still on, so I wanted to jump in here.
I see. Well, I'm glad that you did, because this is all part of the first experience in this. I was,
No,
trying to get that down and everything, and it's good that we see how all that happening now. Um, So yeah, sorry, Pantheon. I didn't want to interrupt or change the subject, but yeah, I was again eager on your opinion. I'm pretty sure the crowd is also want to know, what does Mr. Pantheon think about what happened today.
Well, my apology because I changed the topic on you. Sorry about that. Yeah, today was an interesting day. I think there were some people out there spreading information over the weekend that the switch from the Russell 2000 to the 1000 was going to provide a big pop. There were people saying there was 8.3 or something million shares that had to be purchased today. And there was a lot of confusion on the weekend from people as to what actually to expect today. We had some pretty nice volume. Nice volume was to see. Going forward, I'd expect to probably see a reduction in volume, which would then therefore probably bring a reduction in price. But if the volume stays heavy, it stays steady, I'm curious to see what happens tomorrow. I'm not going to make any predictions, but today's run up was expected by some, not expected by others. Sort of feels like maybe a fake out. They like to do that early in the week to get the options messed up, and they sold a lot more options that expire this week today. That actually did work. So we'll see what happens on the weekly expiring options. But I'm going to reserve formal judgment till we see what happens in a few more days. But as of now, I'm cautiously optimistic.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Just as the way that every investor should be, guys. Again, it was well put. I love that. The way that you approach this, because again, you got to remember, you guys, all the viewers in here, you guys don't need any reminding to know who we're up against and the kind of shenanigans that they pull and they do. So you got to keep that in the back of your head. That doesn't mean you let it fog your whole image, but keep it always in the back of your head in case you're treading very lightly and carefully. They do definitely do that. You've seen it today, especially with the way that the volatility wasn't really there. It was just a very slowly, gradually move up. And again, it could be to bait people in, but I really like it. The guys all like it. Um, Green is always much better than red, no matter how way or shape or form it comes. So I'm in love with it. I'm in love with it. Are you, Jeffrey? You like green?
Yes, actually, forest green is my true favorite color. But so I like green always. Glad to see my cost basis is almost in the green again.
Right.
Um, yeah, no, I mean, like Pantheon said, I do believe that they are going to try to kick it down. I think if we can stay above 1430 opening tomorrow with some good volatility and volume, then I don't know. I think there could be some surprising things come about. Not financial advice, but I do believe that we might see a little bit of a run up and then probably a pullback late Wednesday into Thursday and Friday. Obviously, they always want to get. I don't even know what max pain is this week, but it seems to be that they always try to keep it around the max pain. And I know it's just a theory, but it's just funny how it always ends up right around that area. Does anybody know what max pain is this week?
Currently, it's sitting at $12, and that'll change right at the start of each day potentially. But we're at $12
Right.
right now.
Oh yeah. So yeah, they're gonna probably. I mean, like I said, I don't know. I think for some reason I think they're wanting to let it run just a little bit, just to see how this
Options play
the
out.
sentiment with retail is. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, by Wednesday, late Wednesday, maybe Thursday, they'll start doing their shenanigans.
Ah. Yep. 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 So Jeffrey, this is not a trust me, bro, right?
No, this is not a trust me, bro.
If I could, I'll tack on to what Jeffrey's saying because I think it'll follow with mine. Both of our answers were a little bit like let's be cautiously optimistic and a little non-committal because we're not making predictions. But I think the reason for it is, and Jeffrey, correct me if you think I'm wrong. The conditions that we are in right now in the overall macroeconomic landscape, from the incidents with Russia and the other country, we can't say it on YouTube or you'll get demonetized. the incidents there. We've got the tensions over with China. We've got the happenings in the crypto market. We've got so many different factors right now that may seem unrelated, but actually are quite related to each other. And the lack of liquidity in the markets, it's difficult to look at something like today's event and give an indication as to how we feel of it. Normally, that would be, I think, a little easier. Today, you don't know what fireworks going to pop off tomorrow potentially, or the next day, or the next day, and so it's difficult to really give an indication. AB, would you and Jeffrey and Arthur agree with that, or would you guys disagree?
Totally,
No,
100%.
go ahead, Arthur.
Definitely agree that there's a lot more tied into the stock market than just one stock, and it's not. It's a lot more than just our economy. It's a geopolitical entity. So definitely, things in the other parts of the world are affecting our economy and our stock market at this time.
Right. And then we also, I mean, like Pantheon was saying, I mean, there's just so many things that are that we have to take into consideration. Like with was it Russia defaulted on um, for the first time since 1918. So it's been over, what is that, 100 years, and they just defaulted. So that's gonna cause some fear. I'm sure in the world economy, as well as GDP comes out on Wednesday. So I think, I mean, if you looked at the SPY today, it kind of flagged, kind of just in a no man's land, and I think it's going to probably do that until Wednesday morning, waiting to see if we're actually going to, um, pronounce that we are definitely in a recession. Even though, I mean, if you ask anybody, the feeling is that we are, but the GDP results will come out and give us a definite, yes or no if the numbers show that we're in a recession. So I think that's going to be a big event on Wednesday. That's why I'm saying Wednesday is kind of like the turning point, whether it's going to go up or whether it's going to go down.
You're
And
correct.
just like,
Go ahead,
what's
Jeffrey.
that?
Go ahead, go ahead. No, I was saying that you are actually correct on that. The way that they do it, as far as the the confirming that we are going into a recession, is by having two misses back to back, like 2 quarters right back to back, where we are under. And when they report that data,
20%, right?
that officially confirms it as a recession. When you do two reports, when the government submits two numbers, two reports back to back that are under
Yeah.
on inflation, then and the GDP, then you know that by then they will officially announce it as we are within a recession. Just for the viewers, continue, Jeff, please. Didn't mean to interrupt, brother.
Oh no, 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 no. And like I said, I think, like I said, if we can just hold our ground, like Tony Denaro, he's made videos on it, and everybody talks about the negative beta and things like that. But it's actually days like today that make the numbers look like we have negative beta, because as we were shooting up, the SPY was just kind of, tagging along, kind of like I said, flagging out. And so, because of these days right here, is the reason why, if you do the numbers, it says that we have a negative beta, when in all actuality, we don't. And I think even Tony even expressed this, that if the SPY moves up, then we'll move up with the SPY. But if the SPY, you know what I mean, is trending up, then we may go up faster than the SPY. But if the SPY is trending down, then we're gonna go down faster than the SPY. And it's just it's just something that, like I said, if the market
Well,
gets
because we
fearful
also
because of the
follow.
recession,
Yes. Well, we also because we follow those, that index. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's safe to see that now. If we don't follow the index, like it happened a few times before, um, then that's when you know that there is signs of manipulation because we're supposed to be moving the same way. Like if the spy is green, you should expect, you would have expect that the AMC would be in the green on that day. We're specifically with now officially the Russell 1000, which is the IWB, because we were in the IWM, which is the Russell 2000. Uh, ooh, that looks like really nice waves over there over the ocean on this part. That looks like a storm. So,
Yeah.
gentlemen,
No.
what do you
AB, would you
expect?
mind if I touch base or on one of those topics again? Would that be okay?
Please go ahead. The floor is yours.
See, you talked about the economic indicators of a recession being the back-to-back two consecutive readings. One of the things that I'd like to caution people on as well is those indicators are reactionary. And if you want to see more of a ahead of the curve kind of idea for these things, look to the hedge funds and look to the banks because they act before the government acts or before these indicators hit us. We've already seen the curve's been inverted already a couple of times. That's a leading indicator every year since 19 I think 52, according to the San Francisco Fed. That's led to a recession within 12 to 16 months after the inverted yield curve. But on top of that, you look at the number of jobs that are being lost right now. I touched base a bit of this last night, but the bankers are letting people go left, right, and center right now. Not kidding. And I think it was 26 or 27,000 jobs in Silicon Valley since March have been dropped, which is more than double the entire people that were let go in all of last year. I know those are two different, very different years, but when you look at those kind of indicators, that tells you that people are battening up the hatches and they're preparing for something that they see coming. And it's the hedge funds, the tech industry is tied into the hedge funds and the banking system. You see what those people are doing first, and that's an indicator to tell you what's coming for the rest of us. And when the government tells us we're officially in a recession, it's too late to prepare at that point, or it's not too late, but you really should have done your preparing well ahead of that.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yep. It's kind of like the saying that says, if you're watching this right now, you're already effed. That's basically what it is. Um, but
Unless
yeah,
you
that
hold
was
AMC and GME.
to leverage your account, obviously, and the downturn. Yeah, correctly, absolutely. And it's not a statement that we're making up. We're looking at the actual stats of the movement of the stocks. So we're not kind of creating this out just because we love the stock, right? Even though we do. It's the reality. Let's see. Um,
And I don't know if we touched on it at all, but one thing I kind of wanted to express, and I know a lot of people have been saying, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna get some YOLOs for July or whatever." But the problem with that is when you get a YOLO option, unless you get a YOLO option that's in the money, it has to move faster than
volatility.
it would normally have to as being in the
Yes.
money because your theta is going to burn. But yeah, even though you're months out, you have the time, it's still going to wait. Yeah, but those far out of the money ones are cheaper. But there's a reason why they're cheaper because uh, Wall Street knows that they're cheaper and that retail is going to jump into a cheaper one. But they also know that they move faster and they take your money a lot faster unless like what happened in January, where it shot up, $2 and $3 increments. If it doesn't do that, those far out of the money calls are just gonna get eaten away by theta. So that's why you want to be in the money, or maybe one strike out of the money, because otherwise
Well,
you're just throwing your money away.
yeah, at the end of the day, like everybody has like a different like analysis, the way that they would approach it. What Jeff is obviously saying is completely 100% true, especially with the Greeks of the options and how they operate. Anything that is way far out of the money, you're always gonna have much more stagnant movement unless there is volatility, which happened in June. And yes, in June it was crazy because whatever was out of the money became in the money. But again, that's a gambler's mindset if that's the way that a person approaches it, right? And the way that it obviously should be approached is in with you have when you have perfect conviction and you have reasoning on why you believe such thing. I mean, at the end of the day, if somebody believes that the $145 strike is worth it on the options chain and they have their own conviction on that reason, who is anybody to tell them no? They might be correct. Who knows, right? It could squeeze tomorrow and go past that.
Yeah.
We don't know. But it is, you have to know, and that's what Jeff is saying. You do have to know your Greeks because a lot of the community uh, in the early days and until now continuing, it is much less now than what it used to be. But in the early days, it was very profitable for the market maker to just go ahead and keep writing out of the money calls, knowing that people are going to buy them and then they were always going to end out of the money. And people lose all their premium that they paid for those options. So tread carefully. It was a very good reminder, Jeff.
And
Well,
also another thing to look at is if there's a lot of options, if there's a lot of strike prices, that's because it's really volatile, and you're gonna have. I mean, that's the reason why there's so many options because they want to entice people to buy more because they know it's volatile, and it'll like I said again. I mean, I guess I just want to caution people, because I've been seeing a lot of people, saying, well, I'm going to get some calls for July at, $100 or whatever. And it's just like, man, it's, it's just eating away at our money that we could actually use for, just either buying the stock or, you know what I mean? Just sitting on until that time comes and then we can pounce and jump into something at that time.
and don't forget, always direct to lit exchange.
Exactly.
All right. So I want to know, last briefly touch it again. This was not planned, guys, very well. I really, really I am very appreciative to my friends here that joined and are with me. Thank you so much, guys. But before I let you guys get off the hook, I want to hear one final thing on your takes on what do you think are like as far as I don't want people to tell me what they expect out of crypto, do it like what is going to happen with crypto, but do you guys believe that crypto is something that they are um pocket like basically they were or still is storing their money in and it would have something to do with our MOAS? Do you think that the um the in order for us to have a MOAS we need to see a crypto crash even worse than what we're seeing already? um don't all jump in at once, fellas.
Does anybody want to go? Um, so I do believe that they are using the crypto market as a volatility like a basically savings account. And they're just using it so when they need to either cover shares or get some liquidity, they will jump in and close some of their positions in the crypto market. And and that's why we've been seeing so many because at the end of the day, the hedge funds don't want to close their blue chip stocks to cover their short, and that's the only other way that they're going to be able to do it because they need the liquidity. So they're going to jump into the crypto market because they know that a lot of retail they believe that the crypto market is at the end of the day going to be better, and it's not. it doesn't have the manipulation that the stock market has. And so there's more of them that are involved in that. So they tend to go over there to grab some money and basically
Yes.
let it tank for a little bit, and then people in retail will jump out. Oh no, I can't lose my money.
Yeah. I like it. I like it. Hmm. What's up with you, Pantheon? What do you think?
I think that all of these systems are tied together, and it's all about the sense of liquidity. It's about making sure they have enough money on hand to meet minimum margin requirements when they get a margin call to hopefully end up into a successful margin call. The problem, we've got Will Powers in the comments. How you doing, Will Power? He's mentioning about dropping to $5, $6, $7, and we'll tie all this together. But once they go below $10, they lose a 25, or they get a 25% haircut on the liquidity of those AMC positions for the purposes of collateral. That's something they don't want to happen. So once that happens, that's immediately 25% of all the AMC equities in their possession that no longer count as liquidity for purposes of meeting minimum margin requirements. So that's something I don't know will power if we're going to see it drop down to $5, $6, $7. I wouldn't bet 50K on that if I was you. Will we get below 10? Probably, but that'll help be a hell of a trigger. The thing with the crypto market is all of it's tied together, and the crypto market has been highly unregulated. So it's very easy for these hedge funds to get in, make some money. You've had a lot of hedge funds say, we aren't touching crypto, we're not going to touch crypto. And yet, AB, you can attest, we're finding out more and more of these guys not only have been in crypto, but in crypto for quite some time. And why wouldn't they be? Of course they should. They should have been all this time. So, are they using it for their piggy banks? Well, I'm not so sure. Maybe they are. But the reality is these guys are definitely going to take advantage of every possible opportunity to make quick cash and run things up, run things down, whatever they've got to do, whether it be equities, whether it be crypto, whether it be, your mother's Volkswagen, whatever it is they can get their hands on, they're going to get their hands on it. And so, you know, things are different, guys. And I know a lot of people have looked at the GameStop report and are getting worried about the margin call that was waived off, as a lot of people are talking about and freaking out about. Guys, that was a different time. We had a whole different world. We were in January 2021. The world's vastly different today, and the availability to get the cash is just not there anymore. This is going to be a different situation. So I think we're going to see a run on crypto before this happens, because I think that's where they are parking a lot of money. I think that's where they are making a lot of moves. And as they get margin called, and we further drop into a recession, which JP Morgan has come out and said they think the next 6 months are going to be bullish. I call BS on that, because everybody else, Goldman Sachs, Morgan Stanley, the rest of them are all coming out saying, no, we don't see it. We see harder times coming. In fact, Morgan Stanley said, we don't even think the recession's baked into the price of the stock market yet, and another 23% fall could be expected. Of course, they're all speculating, right? But I think don't believe Jamie Dimon. I don't believe what these hedge funds are telling you as far as we're not in the crypto. I think they are in crypto. I think we're going to see a drop in crypto prices, and I think people are going to take some advantage of that, right? So that's kind of my take on that. Hope that answers the question, AB.
No, I love it. The idea of the whole question was to see each person's mind on the idea, because it's a question that a lot of people ask on various social media platforms and everything, and a lot of people differ, and that's a good thing, because that way, if an individual doesn't see something that somebody else saw, well, guess what? Now they get to see more sides to the equation. So everybody's supposed to obviously have a different uh, point of view on the matter, and I think it's also spot on. Personally, for me, or actually, sorry, Arthur, do you have anything to add on your point of view on that crypto?
I was hoping I was going to get missed on this. I was like, yes, this is going to be great.
You
But you
you
know
don't
me,
have to, brother.
it's okay. Look, you know me. I'm not into crypto. I have nothing in crypto. I'm an old man. I believe in folding money. I know it's a fiat currency, but if I take some crypto to my next door neighbor and take some folding money over there, they're going to take the folding money first. That's just the nature of the beast right now. I see a future in it. Um, and I'm sure hedge funds as well see a future in it. They're not stupid. We can't underestimate our enemy. They're not stupid. As far as a crash required in crypto to pegged to MOAS. I couldn't say. I really couldn't say. That's the best I
I
can
feel
give
it.
you. Sorry.
I can feel that. No, that thanks for that. I mean, input, brother. I mean, again, it's not. There's no magical answer to this. It's everybody have a point of view on something, and my question was more to know that point of view is kind of a little intrusive by me, but it's a question that a lot of people ask, and it's for me. I just want to know where everybody's like kind of mind is at on the matter, and I think it's you got everybody is correct no matter what on their view. I totally actually agree with most of your guys' views, and in fact, I'm very, very, very close to it because I do know that they personally have been investing. Now, these moves that we're seeing right now, uh, the fact that the crypto is not as regulated, at least, and we know. I know apes don't get wild at me saying we're not as regulated in the stock market either. It's okay, but in the crypto realm, it's even much worse because we've seen what happened with the Luna crash down and how that was orchestrated. I mean, it was very simple. It was orchestrated by somebody buying. I don't want to say the allegations of who, at least on the live for tonight, but somebody who bought or offered a lot of Bitcoin to someone else, which is Luna, and basically that made them orchestrate that sell-off because they bought too much of this. The other side went and dumped all what they took as far as tether, and that eventually started, having a domino effect on all the other cryptos to follow along and go down. They use it as a pump and dump to make money. Let's face it, it is tradable assets. You could trade crypto like a day trader versus when the crypto in the stock market, you'd have to have at least, I think it was like 24 or 25,000 to as a limit to be able to be considered for a day trader. Otherwise, you would have three limits per week. Where in crypto, that does not exist. You can, ride back and forth, at least most of the platforms that I've traded on, which is something that they also on their end utilize and take full advantage of. Why wouldn't they, right? But in the same time, also to tag along on Pantheon's point with JP Morgan as well. I mean, the guy's saying we're going to have 6 months of bullishness. And I believe it was you, Pantheon, that covered it yesterday in your episode by them laying off staff members. So if we're going to be bullish, then why would you be laying off staff members, JP, Mr. Diamond? Am I correct on that one, Pantheon?
Yeah, that's correct. JP Morgan actually released a note to their investors saying, we're going to make a 7% return this week, and we're going to have a bullish second half of 2022. So by the way, don't take your money from us. Don't worry, guys. We're good. Trust us. We can invest it and make you a ton of money. While everybody else is saying, well, let's be a bit more realistic. That's not quite the case. That's JP Morgan desperately trying to hang on to liquidity and trying to hang on to the investors' cash. That's all that was. And yes, they're laid off a ton of people in their mortgage sector, reassigning others. And then you can look at all the other banks, crypto exchanges that are losing employees or letting employees go. And like I said, the Silicon Valley, I think it was 26 or 27,000 employees since March, no, since April or May that they've let go. I mean, it's tough out there, man.
Yeah. And to kind of piggyback onto that, Pantheon, and I believe it was Charles Payne that kind of said, if you look back at 2020, 2019, the sentiment that Wall Street was telling retail was like 180-degree difference because they were saying that you want to buy the dip and hold and not freak out. But now, since from 2019, 2020, 2021, now they're saying, oh, no. You got to sell off. You got to sell off. The market's not gonna hit the bottoms until you sell off. And the reason why they're doing that is because they want you to sell at the low prices to make it go lower so they could eventually buy the dip, the actual dip.
cornering the market. You know, that's what they want to corner that market in that realm. Well, gentlemen, I thank you guys so much from deep down from the bottom of my heart for joining and on a moment's notice like this, just to kick off or put the curtains down on an actual show with guests that are actually like friends to me personally. You guys are my friends and close. So I appreciate you again. Thank you so much. And I don't want to hold you guys for any longer because I also don't want to hold any of the viewers any longer. Please, guys, Pantheon, if you don't mind, please, could you in case anybody in here that does not know Pantheon, could you please tell people you're introducing by introducing? I know it's toward the end now, but you could possibly tell people, hey, do your thing, say what you would like to leave the people with, and I'll do the same thing also for you, Jeffrey and Arthur.
Sure. I just want to say thanks to everybody that tunes into Pantheon Radio. It's on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays at 9 p.m. Pacific time. But most importantly, make sure you hit the subscribe button and the thumbs up for AB. AB deserves it. He's put on a fantastic show. I love the new setup you have, AB. And I want to thank you for letting me join you here tonight, my friend. Thank you.
My pleasure. My pleasure, brother.
Yeah, I want to kind of reiterate. I just know personally that me and AB, him more so than I, because it's his show, have been working. I know he's been working countless hours just to try to figure out how to get um, this whole, you know, Discord involved with the YouTube live to be able to have guests on. And so I want to, show my appreciation and make sure that AB knows that I do appreciate all the countless hours that he put into it to actually get it to work. Obviously, it's just it's a whole lot better, a different dynamic when you have actual conversations. You're able to see other people's sides of the view, or something that one person missed, the other person might know something about. So it just brings a whole new dynamic into the show. And so yeah, I just want to say I appreciate the work that you did, and thanks for everybody coming in to watch. I know it was kind of crazy tonight, but we're a work in progress. So
I appreciate
amen.
it, Jeffrey.
AB, I'd
Arthur?
like to just thank you for having me. I appreciate it. I'd also like to say thanks for all that you put in to get this together. I know you've been working on it a few days. You've been talking about it with us in other places, and you've been really working hard for hours trying to get this all sorted out. Appreciate it. Uh, Thank you to Jeffrey for being here, man. I appreciate you. I like talking to you in other places. It's it's uh it's it's great to have a community like this. Pantheon, as always, dude. You're the man, dude. Uh, Thank you for all you do. You guys need to be out there more. If you're watching this on YouTube, please, go subscribe to Pantheon. Um, Smash that like button for AB. Spread the word on these guys. They're putting out good information. They're not clickbaiters, and that's what we need to spread around this community. That's all I like to say.
What else are we supposed to also do, Arthur?
Oh, not financial advice, but go to the movies. Buy some popcorn. Buy some soda. Yeah, yeah, do that. Do that. Look, buy and hold is amazing. Buy and hold is your golden ticket, okay? But we need to support our company. I'm big on that. I'm big on that. I went to the movies today. I bought the largest popcorn they had. I bought the largest soda they have. I'm going back to the movies tomorrow to see Elvis. I'm going to buy another large popcorn, another large soda. I'm going to die of diabetes, or this thing is going to mow ass. One of the two.
Well, you have enough money to reverse all the side effects, brother. I appreciate you, gentlemen. Thank you seriously from the bottom of my heart. I mean, everyone, I appreciate you guys also all tuning in. I mean, I felt like I was with these three studs, and they are three studs, and it was very warm, heartwarming, and I thank everybody that's in here that also, were commenting at a just short notice, just like that, out of nowhere we pop up, and now you're speaking to people, and you're looking at space, and you're seeing the Earth from above, and all that stuff. So hopefully you're not dizzy, but you should get used to it, because when we mow ass, you're gonna have to get used to this kind of scenery in the process of doing so. So thank you so much, guys. I appreciate you all tuning in. Everyone, please have a great night. I'll see you around the pre-market. Well, I wouldn't be jumping in on the pre-market of life, but if you are up on the pre-market, mentally and soulfully, I'm with you. And let's see what we can kick off tomorrow. And hopefully, this trend that we experienced today can continue on tomorrow. And may God bless all of us. And hopefully, we can see a great short mother of all short squeezes come out real soon. So, with that being said, much love, AV Investments.